welcome back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Okay, so if you are new to this channel, this is the first time of you coming across Stylish Naija YouTube channel, I will appreciate if you hit on the subscribe button and then also hit on the bell to get an update whenever I upload a new video. That's just like basically the essence of hitting on that bell. So once I post, you'll be able to see it. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to cut and sew a trendy circle dress with circle sleeve, or I can still name it a dormant circle dress with circle sleeve. So what I mean by a dormant circle dress, you can see this dress actually started trending recently. It is a dormant because it is a circle dress and it is a cut together sleeve. Do you understand? So that is why it is a dormant. The sleeves are cut together, and then at the end of the sleeve, that's during towards the round part of the sleeve, another circle sleeve is cut and then attached to it. So that is why it is a dormant circle dress with a circle sleeve. It is a very simple dress. Even as a beginner, you'll be able to cut and sew this dress after watching this video. So I'm going to do a little explanation. I'm going to use my pattern paper. So this is the fabric that I'm using. I'm making use of 4 yards of fabric because this dress actually consumes a lot. You can see it is a full dress. So I'm making use of 4 yards of chiffon. This is white chiffon fabric. But before I continue, I'm going to cut the chiffon. I'm going to cut them two. So you can actually cut this dress as one. But if you want it to really have a shape, I think I would advise for you to cut it two. You cut two circles. That is what will give it the fullness. You understand? So I'm going to show you how to fold the fabric so you'll be able to achieve that dormantness. If you permit me to use that word. Okay, so for instance, this is my fabric. This is how you are going to fold it. You are going to fold it at an angle like this. You understand? This is how you are going to fold it at an angle. So when you fold at an angle, so you are going to come to those parts like this. You are just going to take a mark, like a line, like rule a line. So this line is going to serve as your shoulder line. And then note, if you are doing normal dress, that for instance, this is going to be your armhole, and then this is going to be your dress. So this is just like a rough sketch of a circle dress. You don't have problem. But for this, we're not going to be doing this kind of rounds, this kind of armhole sleeve. We're going to be cutting the sleeve together with it. So with that now, I'm just going to turn my pattern paper. It's still like the same process. So I'm going to fold my fabric like this. So I hope you understand this. So I'll fold my fabric like this. When you fold your fabric like this, so now instead of coming to this top part, you are going to look for where you want your sleeve, because you are going to measure your sleeve and your shoulder, everything together. So I'm going to come down a little bit more like this, so that this point can take the whole of my sleeve. So for instance, if my sleeve, this is now my center back, from this point to this point, for instance, let me say I'm using like 22 inches. I'm just using example, 22 inches. So it comes, so the sleeve comes up to like this point, like this. This is 22 inches. So you measure it like this. So from this 22 inches, what you are going to do, you are going to create a sleeve opening like this. So that sleeve opening depends on how big you want that part to be. You can use 8 inches, you can use 9 inches. That's from this point now to this point. Now it's going to, this part now is now going to be your sleeve opening. And then the next thing, you are going to measure the length of your gown. So for instance, let me say, let's use like 8 inches now. This is 8 inches. So I'm just going to mark that 8 inches. You're going to mark it round like this. You understand? So this is 8 inches. You're just going to keep marking it round. You're not going to make it straight. So you mark it round like this. So after marking it round, this is what you are going to have. And then you remember your sleeve opening on this point. So from this point now, you come in. You can come in by 1 inch like this. So after coming in by 1 inch, this is what you are going to do. You are just going to do this. And then from those points like this, you just slope this, like create like a V like this. You now create like a V here. So with this, so you see the sleeve. You understand? So you see the sleeve. And then this part is where you're going to add your neckline. And then you have it like this. I'll cut it out now for you to see. So this is going to be one piece of the dress. So this part is not going to be sharp like that, so you curve it a little bit like this. Understand? It's not going to be sharp. And then you curve this part. So you remember our shoulder slope, so we're going to slope. It's not like it's going to be straight like this. And then you add your neckline like this. So this you're going to cut out two. So you see how the dress is looking full. Do you understand? You see, so when you fold it like this, so it's looking full. So you are going to cut out another one that you are going to join. So with that, your dress is going to be full. So this is now the sleeve opening. So it is this part, this sleeve opening part. That is where we're going to add that circle that is there. So I hope you understand this little illustration that I did. So I'm going to now, everything that I've said now, I'm going to transfer that on the fabric. So I'm still going to explain. So I'm going to cut out two pieces of this. Okay, so I just wanted to see how I folded my fabric because my table is not wide enough, so I'm not able to capture the full angle. So that is why I'm just setting it like this so you can see. So I'm just going to do little explanation. So this is the this is the top part. So this part is where I'm going to be adding my sleeves. That's the sleeve and the neckline. And then this part, this is the down part of my gown. So because I want it to be so big, so I'm using almost 14 inches. That's folded into two to create out the fold. So on this part now, I'm going to add my neckline. So I'm going to measure it. I'm just going to roll a straight line from here like this. So this straight line is where my sleeve is going to be. You know it is a cut together sleeve. So you measure from your center back. So you make sure that what you have is enough before you take a point. So what I have here for my sleeve, that's from my center back to my sleeve, that's to those points, is about 23 inches. So I added one extra inch. So that's going to give me 24 inches. The next thing you are going to measure now is the length of the gown. So from this point like this, I'm using about 40 inches. So I'm going to measure. So I hope you can see it. So I have about 41 inches here. So that 41 inches, I'm just going to check it. That's like the shortest part. So once you can get it on that part, you'll be able to get it on this other part also. So now we're going to come and take out the measurement. It is a simple process, just like I explained earlier. So I'm going to get the camera closer. So as we go along, I'll take the long angle also. So the first thing I'm going to do now, like I said, I'm using 23 plus 1 inch, that's 24 inches. So my sleeve is as from my center back to this point. That is what it is. So I hope you're able to see it. For the next thing, I'm going to measure. First of all, I'll measure 1 inch. This 1 inch, I'm just going to use this 1 inch to slope my shoulder. So I'll use it to slope the shoulder like this. So the next thing now, I'm going to create my full length. Okay, no, let's create the sleeve opening first. So I'm going to create my sleeve opening. So for my sleeve opening, I'm going to be using 9 inches to do my sleeve opening. You can use 10. I think, okay, let's use 10 because it's not supposed to be too tight. 10 is okay. But for somebody that is big, you can use between 12 and 14 inches. Please note. So this is 10 inches now. So from this 10 inches, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in by 2 inches like this. The essence of coming in by 2 inches is just for me to be able to create like a curve. Do you understand? Just like a curve. It's a little curve like this. Do you understand? So that's why I came in by 2 inches. So the next thing now, so I'm trying to make sure if you can see the full. So I'm going to measure my full length. That's the length of my gown now. So I'm going to take it like this. So I told you initially that I'm using 40 inches. So this is my 40 inches right now. So this is 41 inches because of your hemming allowance. So from this point, I'm just going to rotate that 41 inches to create the curve. That's like to create a flare. You understand? So I'll just adjust a little bit so you'll be able to see it. And then I'll keep rotating it. And then when I get to this part also, I'll measure the 41. So this is like the most important part, how to fold your fabric to achieve this. So you see what I have. So I'm going to cut out two pieces of this. So that's my sleeve opening. So from this sleeve opening point, it is a simple process. All I'm going to do, so I'm going to use, so you see my triangle already lined out here. So from this point, I'm just going to create, so I can use my straight ruler, just slope it into this point because the triangle shape is already there on the side. So I'm just trying to highlight it. So you see the triangle shape is already there for your dress, so you can see the shape. So that's my sleeve opening on that side. So I'm going to cut it out now. So on this part, you're going to curve it. So that's where we have our sleeve opening. So you see the shape of our dress. That's where we have our sleeve. So you curve it. It's not straight. You just curve it a little bit. And then you cut like this. Okay, so you can see my dress. It is big and full, so you can see it. It is very full. So I don't know how to raise it for the camera to see. It is very full. So I'm going to cut out a second piece of this that I'm going to use for the back. So I love the outcome. It is beautiful. I'll cut out a second one, then we'll come and cut out the neckline. So you can see the full dress. So that's the back and the front. So I'm going to bring it closer. So I'll be able to show you how to cut out the neckline right now. Okay, so for the neckline, if you notice, you can see that I folded the back and the front the same. But if you want to add a zipper to yours, you can decide to add a zipper allowance to the back piece. But mine, what I'm going to do, I'm not using a zipper allowance. I'm going to add a slit to the back neckline. So I'm just going to add a straight slit so that you'll be able to put it on. That's what I'll add. So for the neckline, so I'm doing a high neckline, just like what you have on the picture. So from this point, I'm going to measure 3.5 inches to this point like this. So this is 3.5 inches. So from this 3.5 inches like this, I'm going to, you can see I'm leaving just like a quarter of an inch here because that's what you are going to use to stitch. So don't measure straight like that. So from this point, I'm going to measure the length, or that's the depth of the neckline. So for the front neckline, since it is a high neckline, I'll use 3 inches for the front. And then for the back, I'll use 1.5. So this is the back neckline. So from this point, I'm just going to create a curve like this. And then for the front one, I'm going to create a curve like this. So it's the same width, 1.5 for the back. So I'm going to cut it now. So it is a small neckline. So we'll cut the back one first. So this is from this point to this point is 1.5. So that's the back neckline. So the front neckline, I'm now going to cut out the front one like this. So for the back, so this is the front. So for the back, I'm going to measure about between 5 and 7 inches. So this is 7 inches. I'm going to add a slit to the back so that you'll be able to put it on. So that's the essence. So I'm just going to turn it with a facing. So that's that. The next thing I'm going to do now, I'll go and stitch. It is a simple process. So go and join shoulder to shoulder like this. You go and join front shoulder. So for the neckline, I'm going to add a collar. So I'm not going to put any facing on the front part because I'm going to add a collar, a small round high collar there. So I'll take this part like this, simple. I'll go and stitch from here to here and then stitch the side. So this is the sleeve opening. I'll leave it and then I'll stitch down and then do the same thing to the other side. So I hope you understand. Okay, so I finished teaching, so I'm just going to show you so you can see my play dress. It is very full, as in very, very full. So this is so I've joined them on the shoulder part. So I'm just going to use one part because it's so big that I cannot fit on the table. So you can see, so I've joined the shoulder part. So this is my sleeve opening, and then I've joined the side of my dress. So the next thing, we're going to cut out the circle that we'll use for the sleeve. So you're going to cut it out in a flay form. So you're going to use this measurement. You double it because it was actually pleated. Understand? You're going to pleat it, but if you don't want to pleat it, you can decide to cut it just one flay and then just attach it. But when you pleat it, you have that bulkiness, and then you can decide to add a crinoline. There are some they add crinoline, as in you add crinoline to the circle to give it that firm and thickness. So it depends on what you want. If you don't want to add crinoline, you can use your normal peplon gum, peplon stay to still have that bulky nature. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to measure from this point. That's what I'll use to cut out my flare. So you are going to determine how much length you want, as in how much length you want. That's from this point now, what you are going to attach. So if you want 3 inches, if you want 4 inches, if you want 5 inches, depends on you. So you fold it like a normal flare. So I'm going to cut, instead of, for instance, this I have 9 inches. So I have 9 inches. So I'm going to, that's 9 plus 9, 18. So I'm going to cut out 18 two times because I'm going to plait it. So you can, if you want it fuller, you can cut 3 times and then just join them to have your long strap. So I'm going to fold, just fold my fabric like a flare. Okay, so I finished cutting. So this is two pieces. So I'm going to cut out. So I'm going to join this on the side like this. And then I'm going to cut out another one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to make it two. I'm going to add crinoline to one, and then the other one I'm not going to add crinoline. So that I will get to see how the two different outcome will be. So this one that I'm adding crinoline to, so I've done this in lots of my videos, how to sew crinoline on a plate. It's a simple process. So I'm just going to take this like this on this down part, and then I'll take this like this, and then I'll stitch them together. Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm going to place these two that are the same, and then I'll take my crinoline and then I'll place it around like this. So I'm going to stitch this on this down part. I'm just going to stitch it around. So after stitching, I'll turn it and then iron it down. And then the second one, I'm going to turn it like that without adding anything. So this I'll do and then come back and show you how to attach it on the sleeve. Okay, so you can see my two sleeves here. So this is the one that has the crinoline. So you can see, so you need to join your flare together, or else you won't be able to get the volume. So you see the one that is with the crinoline, you see it is already wavy even without, I have not even pleated it. So you see this is looking so fine. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the round sleeve part like this, and then the whole of what I have, I'm going to pleat this. Do you understand? I'm going to pleat it around my sleeve like this. So I'll just take it back to my machine. I'm just showing you, and then I'm going to secure this, and then I'll pleat it around, just pleat it to fit into this part. Why this other part of my sleeve, I'm going to pleat this one. This is the one that does not have a crinoline on it. So I'm still going to pleat this one also around this sleeve also. So I'm just going to do that, and then I'll place it on my mannequin, and then I'll finish up my neckline. So for the neckline, you can finish it however. So mine, I'm just going to use a little piece of Ankara just to add color into it, and then I'm just going to use it to like fix a little collar on the neckline part. So I'll finish that up and then I'll place it on the mannequin for you to see the final look of the dress. Okay, so at the end of the day, so you can see how our circle dress with our circle sleeve is looking like. So this is the one that the sleeve that we did not add crinoline to it. So you can see how it is looking. It's not standing, does not have that standing effect. It's just looking normal. And then why this is the one that we added crinoline to. So you can see the standing effect that the crinoline gave to the sleeve. And then for your sleeve, for my own round sleeve, I use 9 inches. So you can decide to make yours smaller. So it depends on your measurement. Just work with your own measurement as it suits you. And then for the necklines, I just used an Ankara to just turn out the neckline. So I didn't want to use the same white chiffon fabric. So that was why I used this, just to add a little bit of color to it. So thank you so much. If you find this video helpful, I will appreciate if you hit on the like button. And if you have not subscribed to Stylish Nigeria YouTube channel, please subscribe. Share this video with your friends and loved ones to help our channel grow to its next level. So thank you so much. God bless you.